Expansion of the microcosm. The excellence and subtlety of expansion are inseparable. Brahma is the most expansive entity, the all-pervading existence. His subtlety is unfathomable. Due to subtlety, his identity cannot be perceived by the senses. It is not accessible to the extraversal mind. The cruder the object, the less its capacity of expansion, and vice versa. Thus the degree of expansion and subtlety of liquid is greater than that of solid. The aerial factor is even subtler than liquid. The ethereal factor is the most expansive and subtlest of all the five fundamental factors. That's why it is not perceptible to the Indriyas. It is not possible to determine its size or fathom its subtlety, nor to make any measuring rod for that purpose. This ethereal factor, although one of the five fundamental factors, is almost beyond the scope of human perception. It requires a highly developed human intellect and continuous scientific pursuit for its perception. So how can a common person grasp something which is even more subtle than that? I have said earlier that the subtler an object, the less the capacity of the Indriyas to perceive it. As the greatness of expansion depends upon the degree of subtlety of an object, the more expansive an object, the more difficult it becomes for the Indriyas to perceive it. To grasp such an object requires constant endeavor and a refined intellect. That's why human beings try to understand subtler objects with the help of their minds. What is beyond the perception of the crude physical organs, the eyes or the ears, can often be perceived with the help of the internal ears or internal eyes, or the introversial mind. Wherever the extraversial mind might work, in the internal mind or in the external world, it cannot go beyond the periphery of the ethereal factor, and is thereafter forced to return to its own abode. Human beings are constantly coming in contact with an entity beyond the periphery of the five fundamental factors. That entity is the human mind. Although the mind cannot be perceived by the Indriyas, with a little introversion, its existence is substantiated without doubt in individual life. However hard a so-called Pandit scholar may try to convince you through powerful logic that you have no mind, you will not accept it because mind is a natural entity for you. You do not require any logic for any outsider to understand your own mind. There is another entity which is even subtler than the mind, the cognitive faculty, Purusha Tattva or Brahma Tattva. Being subtler than the mind, it is beyond the capacity of the mind to grasp it. But in the process of sadhana, when the mind becomes so subtle and expanded that it loses its individual existence, the supreme cognitive factor can be recognized. The Rishi says, Richu akshare parame vyoman yasmin deva adi vishve nishedu yastana veda kimricha karishyati ya ittadvirushta imme samassate. While discussing a subtler entity, one is continuously reminded of the ethereal factor, the subtlest factor of this perceivable world. That is why people loosely describe Brahma as being like either, or beyond either. This supreme entity, who is as subtle as either, in fact, he is much, much subtler than that, is called Akshara, because he is not transmuted from the original. Stance. Conversely, the entity or entities which have been transmuted and are undergoing various transmutations are called Kshara. Only the supreme entity Paramapurusha is Akshara. The various emanations of the supreme entity, which are subject to constant change, are known as Devatas, mythological gods or deities. These Devatas or divine emanations lie embedded in the cosmic body. Brahma is the source of infinite energy. Whatever has been created or is being created, or will be created is a vibrational flow emanating from him. The seed of all emanations lies embedded in him. The controlling faculties of the vibrational flows are called devatas. These devatas or divine emanations have no absolute or separate identity. The manifestation of this relative universe is caused by their collective expression. The sound created by the vibrational expression of each devata, in which its potentiality of expression lies, is called its acoustic root, and the totality of these acoustic roots is called Omkara or Pranava. Hence, Omkara is the seed of the cosmos. Those who worship the various deities in pursuit of Artha, mundane wealth, and not Paramartha, supreme wealth, do so because those deities are the controllers of the transient wealth of the universe. Those who worship these deities to attain Brahma will be sadly disappointed, for it is impossible to attain the infinite through the worship of the finite. The one who declares that a particular deity is Brahma may have an element of devotion, but must be totally devoid of rationality. Dyotate kridate yasma dudyate dyotate divihi tasma deva iti pruktaha stuyate sarva devatae. So devata is a particular vibrational flow, whereas Brahma is the ocean of universal flows, the ocean of divine nectar. It is totally unnecessary for a spiritual aspirant to worship any particular deity. The Rishi says, for one who has not realized Brahma, ritualistic worship, the study of the scriptures, religious pilgrimages, charitable activities, or scriptural recitation are all meaningless. Such ritualistic observances, devoid of cosmic ideation, do not deserve to be called anything less than ostentatious public displays or pretentious demonstrations of intellectual vanity. Only the person who remains free from all superstitions and moves towards the Supreme Entity with genuine devotion and one-pointed ideation on him, and whose inner soul runs unhindered towards the cosmic soul, attains him, attains everything in life, and attaining him gets merged in him, merging in the ocean of nectar. One also becomes nectar. Hence the Vedas declare, Brahmavid Brahma eva bhavati. One who knows Brahma becomes Brahma. This imperishable Parama Brahma is the paramount topic of the Vedas. Many people think that the Vedas only teach the worship of Brahma, but it discusses so many other subjects such as Chanda, rhythm, mantra, holy chants, Vyacharana, grammar, and a host of other rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. Should we study all the Vedas teachings? In reply, one can only say that one may accept the essence of something without accepting its non-essential aspects. If someone says, I eat wood apple, it doesn't mean that he eats its skin, seed or gum. Similarly, to eat a mango does not mean to devour its skin and stone, but to eat the essential part, discarding the rest. So to accept a scripture means to accept the essence which stands the test of rationality and to discard the rest. Rational people should never declare that the teachings of the scriptures should be followed blindly. The Rishi says, Yukti yukta mupadeyam vachanam balakadapi anyam trinamiva tyaya ma bhuktam padma jana mana. The rational word spoken by a child should be given importance, but the irrational utterings of even the creator Brahma himself should be rejected as a straw.